So I'm busy stitching up this bifold wallet, and I thought I'd take the time to answer some of those questions that you guys have sent through to the channel in the comments there below. And one of those questions has been, how do I thread a needle and what needles do I use? So I'll take today's video and answer that plus a little bit more. Before I do that though, if you're new to the channel, my name is Tarek. I have been a full-time artisan for many years now, and my work in both leather and knives, like you see behind you, has gone around the world. And this channel is all about those little tips and tricks that'll hopefully help you guys along in your own artisanal journey. So I only use one brand of needles. I use the John James needles. In the hundreds of thousands of stitches that I've done, I've never ever had one of these needles break on me. And it's been almost a decade now of using these needles. I use two sizes. I use a 004 for when I'm stitching with anything up to about a 0.6 millimeter thread. And I use a 002, John James 002, when I'm stitching a little bit heavier. For example, the bag there behind us, which I made for Charlene, that was stitched with 0.8 millimeter tiger thread and the John James 002. So in this project that I'm busy finishing off over here, I've used the John James 004 and I've used a 0.6 millimeter tiger thread. So I'm going to show you how to thread that needle. I've got some 0.6 millimeter tiger thread. So the first thing you want to do is always just push your thread through the eye of the needle. When you're working with a poly thread like this tiger thread, it can go through quite easily. I will show you another way of doing it if you're working with other threads. But I generally push that through around about 1 centimeter. So the thread is through the eye of the needle, around about 1 centimeter. Then take the point of your needle and you can stick it through the center of that thread, and I'll do that twice. So I'll move the thread up around about 1 centimeter up on the needle, and then I'll stick the point through one more time. So there I've got two little loops that have formed, and then I will push that closer towards the eye of the needle, pull the excess thread through the eye, and then, swapping hands here, I'll take my my left hand and I'll pull the thread over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pull that thread over. So there I'm pulling it over, and it's created two little locking points on that thread. So when I pull now hard on the back end of that thread, there is no movement. So it stops this knot from moving up on the eye of your needle, which can cause problems while you're trying to stitch. If you are using a linen thread, like this linen cable, it can often be a little bit of a challenge getting it through that eye of the needle. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to cut a little piece of that and show you how I work with this just a little bit differently, not too much. So as you can see, getting that linen thread into the eye of the needle is quite a bit of a challenge. So I do two things. First is, I grab my beeswax, and I'll just put a little bit of beeswax onto that thread. And secondly, is I'll take my skiving knife, put it onto my piece of granite over here, and just that last little section of the thread, probably 2 millimeters. I think that's probably around about 1/8 of an inch. I'll just create a slight taper. So I'll just run the blade over that, removing just that little bit of the thread, which thins it out just enough to get it to go quite easily through that 004 John James needle. I then follow the same procedure as I did with the tiger thread of how I would thread it. So that's how I thread a needle, using both a poly thread and the linen thread. So that's it for today's video. I hope you got some value out of it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up there below, and remember to subscribe to our channel. We're adding more and more videos like this all the time. And if you want to go and grab yourself a copy of this pattern, it does come with a full instruction manual. We'll leave a link there below. We do appreciate your support, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.